Welcome to Ask WG, the weekly segment where you, the viewer, get to ask us questions and we'll try our best to answer them.
Well, we do try. We actually do research these questions, we promise.
Yeah, Google's your friend.
Yep.
The first question comes from Ashley. She asks, DOLY Gaming, will Elder Scrolls Online be able to link up online with all consoles such as Xbox, PlayStation, and from the PC?
Well, that's a good question. Given most MMOs don't really do that, there were a few that have been tried and kind of failed at doing that. That being said, every MMO wants to do that. I mean, I know Defiance, the MMO, which is available both on consoles and on PC, they're separate servers, but they want to try and link those together. I think with maybe the next-gen consoles, might be possible, just because, Xbox One's claiming to have, 3 times as much server space as the original Xbox Live did, or as much server capacity as the internet in 1998. I think they're saying. So it might be possible with next-gen consoles, but currently, probably not.
As it stands now, it's pretty much one server for Xbox, one server for PlayStation, and the rest PC.
Yep, pretty much.
This question comes from Kelsey, and she asks, will you be able to play PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games on the new PlayStation 4? Now, obviously, the system isn't compatible with PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 discs.
But it will be compatible with downloadable versions of it. So what Sony have said is they're going to upload a lot of these games to, PlayStation
Network.
PlayStation Network, that's right, because they changed the name of it. They're going to upload it to there, and then for a small fee, you can then download those titles. Unfortunately, you can't say, I own all of these games, can I then have them for free?
G'day everyone, John McLeish here. I'm down here at the Computer Games Bootcamp again at Monash University's Clayton campus. I'm joined by Andrew Owen, who heads up these events, has done for the last 5 years. My God, 5 years, has it been that long already?
It has for CGBC. We've been going a lot longer before that. I know that you were involved with a lot of the esports stuff that we did prior to CGBC when they were all independent entities. So we used to have, of course, Step It Up, the IT Challenge, the High School Esports League, and a number of other activities that were all kind of separate sort of entities until we kind of slowly combined them into what we know now as CGBC back in 2009. And even way back then in 2008, we had high school students going to things like the old E-Games Expo and other expos like that, competing or developing stuff. So really a lot of my projects connected to this sort of realm has been going on for probably maybe 13 years. So we've been doing a lot, and there's a lot of other students who've actually been to university or other avenues like tapes, and then gone off to work in industry and everything from visual effects and movies to games to, programming and you name it. So it's a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's amazing how far it's come in that whole period of time. I remember the very first Computer Games Bootcamp back in 2009, I believe it was. Yeah, 2009, it was just a giant circle in the middle of the room, 4 TVs. And now we've got big projector screens, we've got huge TVs, we've got 5 TVs, something like that now. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. So the Step It Up program, is that part of the work experience program that high school age students can do here?
Yes, yeah. No, that's been going for a long, long time. It has different variations. So we do one variation is for Indigenous communities. So I've actually a few years ago did one that was specialised up in East Gippsland at the Wollumbullum School. And so I was up there and we were developing projects, and we did games, we did digital imaging, we did all sorts of programming and stuff. So that was back then. Then there's also the development Step It Up, and also Step It Up, which is the work experience. But here, the work experience element, they are doing development. So on top of all their other duties, whether it's manning the cameras or editing or tech support or just event support, they're developing a project across the week, and we make it as tough and as real as possible.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the educational side of this whole event?
Sure. There's a lot of different presentations and workshops connected to everything from programming, database, 3D, mobile development. You got people doing stuff on Unity. You got other stuff doing stuff on hardware. So everything incorporates through people talking about business development. So there's so much. So, and then there's of course master classes that only take 20, so you get the most enthusiastic. And we usually run those at the same time as something that's really high volume or kind of the more poppy type stuff of the event, where you got people where they can win prizes and things like that. So you get people who are going, look, I'll give up the chance of maybe winning a prize here because I really want to go to this masterclass, which only might take 20 students, and you've got some of the lead people at Autodesk showcasing it with some other people, and they're creating some incredible things that they then use in other areas. But yeah, it's everything: programming, database, digital design, concept art, all that stuff. It's all mixed in. And even though, because that's why we call it CGBC now, not Computer Games Bootcamp. So it's people understand that, sure, yeah, the games development part and games is still a big part of the event, but it's everything else, and that's what it's naturally evolved into that. So yeah, because I think also with maybe if you look at the expansion of even just games itself, going into apps and mobile development, that's become big, and that's really, really big here. So, and we've got some 14-year-olds who are building their own mobile apps that are actually presenting and have become like mini celebrities, and they're really clever, and everyone's like, a lot of the industry people are like, this kid's 14. I'm like, yeah, and he's learned it himself, and his older brother's the same way.
Wow,
and
that's amazing.
Yeah, and the great thing is the kids can consult with each other, they can learn about outsourcing, and yeah, all that. So there's a lot more to it. We make a real world experience. We kind of have an unofficial motto here saying, this is not high school, you will not be spoon fed. So the only person who can take charge of things is yourself. So I think the high school kids really need to know that, especially if they're going to go on to further education or even just industry itself. Because if you don't do it, there's no one else going to do it for you.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's such a great event, and I'm glad it runs every year, and I look forward to seeing it into the future. Thank you very